rough situation. So just being able to be here and just being able to almost be in the NFL is just a blessing.
How much of that rough situation can you go into?
I mean, I've gone over this 100,000 times, but I have a different story than a lot of these guys. Grew up in a rough neighborhood in Atlanta. Dropped out of high school in 11th grade. Kind of got in some trouble, running with the wrong crowd. Finally seen the light. Got my GED. Took the test, passed all 5 parts on the first time. And that January, I went to school, and I never looked back.
Were you in a gang?
I was never associated with a gang.
But you were in jail?
I was in jail.
How much of that can you go into?
I was in jail for 2 charges that I got. I was only in there for about 3 weeks.
And how much are the NFL personnel guys getting into this with you?
Like I said, they've heard the story, they read the articles, so they're questioning me, which I don't blame. So, I guess they kind of want to hear it from the horse's mouth, the whole situation and how it happened.
Did they ask you, have you legitimately turned it around for
Yes,
good?
sir. Yes, sir.
And that's how you answer them?
I mean, you can check my past 4 or 5 years, I got a lot of people that can vouch for me and say that I'm no longer that person I was. I went by BJ, now I'm Bruce, so, that's how I tell them.
Who do you credit besides yourself for turning this around?
My mentor, it was a guy, he saved my life, Chad Allen. I was homeless, pretty much, and he took me under his wing and let me live with him and started training me and sent me to junior college and paid my tuition, and it took off from there.
Why did he do this?
When I finally realized and seen the light and wanted to get my GED, I went to a prep school down in Atlanta, Georgia, but it kind of folded. There was no organization and there was no structure to it. So he had the place that it was at. It was usually for troubled teens who was trying to get their life back together. And he would come up there and just talk to the players and the kids and just let them know, just give them real life experiences. I was homeless and he talked to me and we kind of had a heart to heart, and he was like, I can't let you go back to doing what you was doing. So, he opened his doors to his house for me.
I've read a quote.
Did you ever wonder why? You ever ask him why?
I never asked him, I started getting free meals, didn't have to struggle no more, didn't have to bounce house to house, and honestly, he don't ask me for anything. He don't ask me for money. He don't ask me for nothing. All he asks me is to work hard and just strive to be the best that I could be.
Bruce, I've read a quote where somebody wanted to take you home and you said, "Can't go home. There's too many people looking for me." Mm-hmm. Can you go home now?
I can go home. I didn't want to go home at the time because my so-called friends at the time was still involved in that type of stuff, and I didn't want to surround myself or even be in the same state as that. That's why I went to California, to get as far away from it as I could.
So how do you end up in West Virginia, Morgantown?
West Virginia is a great place. I kind of wanted to go somewhere who needed me much as I needed them. Coming out of junior college, I had 27 offers. I had all the big schools, but I kind of wanted to be the big fish in a small pond, so to say. So West Virginia was a perfect fit, and the best decision that I've made.
Now, the pro scouts say you're a legit 3-4 OLB, but I watched you, and you're like the backup 3-3-5 defensive end in West Virginia. Explain the position you played and how you were used.
3-3-5 is a very unique defense. We was the only team that ran it in the country. It usually requires their 3 down linemen to be at least 260 and plus. As you know, I'm not 260. I was, during the season, I was probably 225, 230. So I started, my senior year, I started a couple games, like 4 to 5 games, but it just wasn't working out. And I noticed coming off my junior year, less was more for me. Me playing 6, 7, 8 snaps and getting 2 sacks a game was really productive for me, and not getting injured coming out the game with not a lot of bruises. So I think in that defense, I think I benefited from playing less.
You were a safety, right? And then you just got put at a linebacker one day. Is that kind of how it went?
Yeah, I went to junior college as a safety.
Okay. Can you go over that story about? I recall reading that they moved you to defense or end, and you just kind of beat the offensive tackle repeatedly. Can you kind of go through that?
Being that I only played 1 year of high school football, I was kind of slow to the game, so picking up the coverages and all the extra stuff that it takes to be a free safety, it was just taking me a long time to grasp it and get concept of it. And so one day of practice, this was like after the 6th game. You know, I was only playing kickoff and punt team. I was a gunner on punt team. And after the 6th game, coach was like, "Man, we gotta get you on the field somewhere." And in practice, he put me at DN, and I just started running by people. And ever since then, I just kept my hand in the dirt.
3-4 OLB is probably an appealing position to you, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And why is that?
Being that you're on the end and I'm a fast guy, I like mismatches. So I think that gives me the chance to especially if I got big guys in the middle who's occupying the guard, it gives me the opportunity to go one-on-one with the tackle, which in college I normally won most of the time, but you know, it's going to be different at the next level, and I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Can you be more than a situational guy? Can you be more of a full-time guy?
Yes, sir. I think I can. It was just the defense I was in, and like I said, I benefited more from playing less. But absolutely, I think I could be an every down player.
Even as a situational guy, you realize that like 10 sacks in 16 games equals mansions and everything you've always wanted, probably, right?
I mean, I don't look into the materialistic things. You know, that's what the average football player thinks. When he get the money, he want the cars and the jewelry and stuff. But man, I just want to be able to let my mom retire and buy her a house or something. Just make sure she's comfortable and just make sure she's doing everything she want to do while she's still living.
How often were you in the 2-point stance at West Virginia?
I was always in what you mean, up? Standing up?
Yeah.
I never stood up. My hand was always down.
How are you going to make that transition?
Yes, sir. I've been working on that down in Orlando, Florida with Tom Shaw. We've been working with me standing up.
What'd you measure in at?
Sociology.
No, measure.
I was 6'3", 245.
Appreciate it, bro.